Hi, I'm Heather Choate. Thank you for watching my video blog. Today I want to talk about overcoming difficulties. This has been something on my mind a lot lately, and I know that it's something we all face at one time or another. So I want to be able to offer some really practical tactics and methods, some frames of mind that can help us overcome those difficult times. And these are things that I've learned this past year, especially after going through some incredibly difficult challenges. Yesterday we had an interesting experience meeting with a Fox 21 News reporter who wanted to share our story about how I fought breast cancer while I was pregnant and a mom. And this is really timely because this is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I wanted to help raise awareness and also be able to help inspire women who are going through cancer and anyone else who's facing difficult times or adversity. Towards the end of our interview, the reporter asked me a question. He asked me what was the most difficult part of the entire experience. And I kind of gave him that blank stare for a while because so many different thoughts were going through my mind. Everything was difficult. There was not anything that was particularly easy about it. Chemo was difficult. Surgery when I was 28 weeks pregnant was difficult. Bringing Curie into the world was difficult. Not being able to get off the couch and take care of my kids was difficult. Accepting the help of others was difficult because I'm an incredibly independent person, and that was really challenging for me to accept the fact that I couldn't do it all and that I needed other people's help. The strain on family relationships was difficult. All of these things were very difficult, things I'd never had to go through in my life. And all of a sudden, wham, we just got slammed with all of it all at once. That I thought about it and I realized that most difficult part was not succumbing to fear. The fear was intense. It was the greatest fear I think I've ever experienced. There's nothing like having a doctor look you in the eyes and say, you are probably not going to make it. If you keep your baby, your chances of getting through this are very slim. I was told I might die at 29 years old. As a mom of 5 with another baby on the way. And that was not something I ever expected would happen to me. I never thought I'd be faced with my own mortality at such a young age. And the thought of leaving my family and leaving my children was just terrifying, and it was heartbreaking. So when we have those kind of difficult situations, and they don't have to be that dramatic, they don't have to be a life-threatening illness, they don't have to be the loss of a loved one or the loss of a limb or, any of those really, really challenging things. They can be even the small challenging things like dealing with daily anxiety, dealing with depression, dealing with a difficult roommate. On and on and on. There's just all kinds of difficulties, and these principles apply to every kind of difficulty that we have in our life. The point is, no matter what the difficulty is, we have a choice. You can ask yourself, what am I going to do with this? That was one of the first questions I asked myself. You can see it in my early journal entries right after my diagnosis. It's written in my memoir. What am I going to do with this? And I know it sounds easy to say, but I made a choice that I was not just going to go through it, I was going to grow through it. That no matter what happened, I would look for the lessons that I needed to learn and the weaknesses that I could strengthen, and also the people that I might be able to help to turn this potentially really bad, devastating thing into something that would make me stronger and could actually help other people. And that was a difficult choice to make, maybe not in an individual moment, but in the consistency of daily life, in the consistency of going through those challenges, to continue to make that choice, that I am going to grow through this. No matter what happens, come what may, I'm going to grow through it. I'm going to learn from it. And I'm going to make myself better for it. I'm going to make the world a little bit better for it. And that gives purpose in what we're going through. So if it's a challenging roommate or a challenging relationship, you can say, what am I going to do with this? What choice do I have? Instead of feeling like you're a victim to the circumstances, because I didn't ask for this. I didn't deserve this. My family didn't deserve this. What the heck? Why did this happen? I could easily succumb to feeling depressed, to feeling, feelings of overwhelm. being overwhelmed and just completely like, I'm a victim here and woe is me. Like, I can't deal with this. That is a choice that I could make. And as you can see in my memoir and in my blog and everything, there were times when I did succumb to that. It wasn't like I was perfect all the time, but I did try consistently to pull myself back up, remember why I was here and what I was fighting for. And when you have that purpose of who you really want to be and the kind of person that you want to be, the kind of family life that you want to have, the kind of legacy that you want to leave, then that gets you through those things. So you make the choice. You decide, what am I going to do with this? And then the second part is that we understand that there are some difficulties that we create for ourselves. So examine the problem and realize, I may have accountability in this area. And if you recognize that, then you can fix it. You can change it. You can apologize. You can correct the behavior. And then you also have to realize there are other things in a situation that you cannot control. There are many hard, difficult things that happen to us. Natural disasters, loss of a job, economic downturn, loss of a loved one, a health challenge. Sometimes we don't have control over these things, but we still have to deal with them. So what are we going to make of it? One of my favorite drives is the drive from Durango, Bayfield area where we used to live, over Wolf Creek Pass going up to Denver. And it is incredible as you're driving through these canyons up the mountain. There are these gorgeous aspen forests. And a lot of the aspens along the side of the road have these curved trunks. And my husband and I were just marveling at what happened to these trees to make them it was extreme, like an extreme bend to the aspen tree. And I actually found out a picture online to share with you. So if I can get this on there. Yeah. So this is an example of what these aspen trees look like. The trees behind them will be perfectly straight and growing upright, beautifully and strong. And then some of them will have this odd curvature to them. And we found out that it's because of avalanches and mudslides that hit the trees, especially when they're a little bit younger, and just completely levels them out. Like they're hanging off the edge of the cliff, horizontal instead of vertical. And what is so amazing about them is that some of them will die, some of them will buckle under the weight of what has happened to them, but then others will find the strength and manage to turn themselves and grow back upwards towards the sun and towards what they want to be, which is a beautiful aspen tree. And so I'd like to make this kind of comparison, that we can be like those aspen trees. We're growing along, little seedlings. We're doing right. We know where we're going. We know what we want to be. We have that vision, that purpose that I talked about. And then all of a sudden, wham, something completely unexpected happens to us. A mudslide just levels us out. Well, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to die and shrivel up and say, oh, this is the end because something bad happened to me? Or are we going to be like the aspen trees and say, no, this happened to me. I can't change that. But what I can change is what I do with it. And so I am going to grow onward and upward through this. And they are stronger for it. It doesn't mean that that experience went away. It doesn't mean that the aspen doesn't show marks of what happened because, they're a little deformed from it. But they have achieved what they wanted to do, and they set out to become an aspen tree, and they accomplished that goal even after going through that hardship. So that is my challenge to you, is to have vision and purpose. Look at any difficulty that you're going through and say, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this? And my next video, I want to talk about service and how service can help us to fight off depression as well as anxiety and give us greater purpose and meaning. But that's the first part, is having that purpose for yourself in your adversity and not succumb to the fear, to the depression, to the feeling like you're a victim. You do have choices, and you can, like these aspen trees, grace the world with your beauty and your strength. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have an awesome day. Thank you.